All right, guys. So apparently this feminist here thinks that men have it easy. We're going to watch this clip and see what her explanations are. If she really is a feminist to the core, I think I know what her answers are going to sound like. But if she's not, I don't know. Let's see what's up. Before I start the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into it.
Why do you apply different standards for a man? And I would argue, maybe because I'm a man, but I would argue the standards you have for men are a lot higher than the standards you would have for a woman. Why do you apply different standards depending on the gender when arguably if you date both, it's actually about the person?
Yeah, like, no, that's a really good point. I think because arguably it's just easier to be a man, and so therefore you're like, well, it's easier for you to get a raise.
Why is it easier to be a man when men?
I mean, the gender pay gap just says it all. And
okay,
it's really
but there's all.
Oh Lord, not the gender pay gap. I don't want to do another video on that. I don't have to do another video on that. We know about the pay gap over here on this side. I'm not even about to bother breaking that down.
Also a gap in like men commit suicide more.
Yeah,
men
yeah.
are dropping out of colleges more.
But that's toxic masculinity that men can't speak about.
So
their
then
feelings.
why are we saying that there's like a pay?
Why even call men toxic because they don't feel like they can't talk about their feelings? They might not have no one to talk. They might not have no one to talk to. You know, sometimes you feel like you have no one to talk to. That could be a man thing or a woman thing. It's like, where is the empathy at all for men and the issues that we have? Oh, it's just toxic masculinity.
Patriarchy when men have it hard too. Like,
Yeah,
why
no,
are you
and
just
they
said
do.
you
They
said
do.
you
Yeah.
just said women have it harder than men. But if women had it harder than men, like, then why are more
I didn't
men?
say they had it harder. I just said it was easier to be a guy.
Then, but
So.
okay, if it's easier to be.
Which is saying exactly what she just said. Women have it harder than men. If being a man is easier, then women have it harder by default.
A guy, then why do more men commit suicide?
Because they feel, because of toxic masculinity, which is perpetuated by both men and women, they feel like they have to be macho. And I don't subscribe to that at all. I'm very much like...
well, could it be possible that men have...
Women perpetuate toxic masculinity? I mean, personally, I don't even think toxic masculinity is a thing. You know, every man is different, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we aren't all just a monolith like that. To just say toxic masculinity. That, you know, we it's 2022. We getting past that buzzword. They're not gonna be able to use that anymore effectively.
have a harder life than women?
Yeah, of course it could be possible. Of course it could be.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that would like contradict what you said earlier.
Well, this is it. It's not
Yeah.
black and white. It's not right or
Okay,
wrong.
yeah.
It's gray area, maybe.
Yeah.
So everything is, there's no
Like,
very solid. So yeah, that's,
Well, you didn't give a gray area answer, lady.
and even the whole rule and exception, there's all, it's not one size fits all. It's really not. Where there is, that's it. There are some men who thrive and succeed because they're a man, because life is easy. Therefore, I'd be like, I would expect you
okay.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, I'm
have
gonna
good
give you an
income.
example. My dad's the top half a percentage of earners. Okay, he's the white man, right? But here's the
He's the patriarchy.
thing. He worked 80 hours a week my whole life. I didn't get to see him.
Yeah.
How is that like the patriarchy when my dad put in 80 hours every week his whole life,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
from the time I was like
Yeah.
a child, right?
Yeah, you can see she get a little bit, personal about this, because when you, and that's a good daughter right there. You know what I'm saying? Because when you hear somebody talking about men, you realize, you talk about my dad, you talk about my brother, you talk about my cousins or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So she just defending her pops, like, toxic masculinity. This, it's easier to be a man. That, like, he had to work his ass off to provide for him. And I heard somewhere she got a lot of siblings, or I'm not sure. I think, but yeah, he had to work his ass off. So what do you mean?
Missed a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
shit. Like, he earned that.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna say that's like
No.
the patriarchy.
Well, the only way we can
But now
yeah.
he's a white male CEO.
Yeah.
Right. So is that the patriarchy, or
Well-
did women not choose
She has a nice little card in her back pocket that she could pull. Her dad is the rich white CEO.
to do that?
But he probably a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of what I'm meaning.
Well, that's the only way we could argue, is the only definitive answer
Yeah.
you could have is if you had a exact female replica to be like, she likely would not get where he is. That's the only way we could argue it.
Right.
But
So-
it
so
doesn't,
then why-
it doesn't
so
take
then-
away
so-
from his efforts. It doesn't take away from
so
that.
then why do we talk about it at all if you have no idea why there's a pay gap?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
like is it possible that it's the industries that women pick? Because if you look
Yeah,
at
no, of
countries
course.
that have more choice, so if you go to like the most
See, I just find it disingenuous that she's talking about, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. But her initial answer was just a typical surface level feminist answer. That's all it was. Like, there was no gray area. There was no, it was just men have it easier than women. That's all she said.
egalitarian countries, there's more of a pay gap rather than less, because women choose jobs with people and men choose jobs with objects. So like I'm from a family of 10. All the boys are engineers.
Yeah, she does have a lot of siblings.
None of the girls are engineers. Like, is it possible it's a biological difference rather than a patriarchy?
No, I think the pay gap is more like within. So I don't know if you saw on International Women's Day, they had a bot that literally showed you the pay gap within organizations. So obviously women will tend to go for things like being a nurse, being a teacher, and they pay a lot less than being a financer.
Correct.
And XYZ.
Yes.
But the pay gap then exists in, so a lot of things were,
Hey, I know a lot of female nurses making a lot of money. They work a lot of hours. I don't know how the pay is, but I know they're making a lot of money just putting in those hours. The money is there for you if you, excuse me, if you want to go get it, but like Pearlie's saying is that they don't chase the same level of careers that men do. That men do. You know what I'm saying? They go for other things. Women are more interested in people, men are more interested in things. So, it's really just that simple. It's not that complicated.
where there's a lot of male actors who will be like, I will not sign on to this contract unless I know my female counterparts are being paid the same. And so I think the pay gap then comes, and
well, it's also the trait.
yeah.
It's also the trait like disagreeableness. So as women, like we're naturally more agreeable.
100%.
So I'm terrible at negotiating. I just want to make everyone happy, and I just want to be like, yeah, I'll do whatever for nothing. And but that's like men are more disagreeable if you look at the agreeability scale. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So again, like why do we just assume patriarchy when you don't know if it's because of different personality traits and gender differences?
Yeah. No, and gender.
I wonder if when she has these people on the shows, like I wonder, are these her friends or are these just random people? And like, does she tell them that like beware the thumbnail because you might get called something if you come in here, saying dumb stuff.
They are so real. So in my studies, it showed that so men are more likely to go for, so let's say there's a job and a woman is more likely to look at a job specification and go, oh, but she's more likely to say no to herself. And she's more likely to go, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough.
Yeah.
Whereas a man is more likely to actually inflate their ability and be like, I'm going to go for that. And it actually reflects in relationships where a man is more likely to actually shoot above and be like, I can.
Yes.
So it's a reason we see a lot of less attractive men with more attractive women. The women are more likely to be like I spent a lot of my life being like, I'm a 4 out of 10. I'm probably about a 7, but I spent a lot of my life dating men, and people would be like, Amy, that guy is not in your league. Like, why do you not? And they're definitely like, out.
I mean, a lot of men are like that now. That's why you got all the incels and just, men addicted to porn, like, young boys, young men addicted to porn and stuff like that, because they don't see their self-worth high. I mean, I see that a lot in men. I think I see it more in men. I think I see it more in men than I do in women. You probably see it in women who are not the most attractive, but even women who aren't the most attractive still manage to get attention from the opposite sex. Whereas a dude that's just undesirable until he changes something around, changes his looks, changes his hair, gets a better job, gets in the gym, etc., that's usually when he'll start to, works on his confidence. That's when he'll start to get some attention from the opposite sex. So,
like, you're out of their league. And it's actually, there's a real gender difference. And is that biological? Is it social? We don't know.
Well, right there, that's because men and women value different things. Men value look.
I feel like this dude wants to talk so bad.
more. Women don't value looks as much. They value things like social status, like a blue check mark. A blue, and this is, I've dated a guy with a blue check mark, right? Like, we like social status.
Yeah. Like, we'd be lying if we said we didn't care and it didn't matter.
Or whatever it is. Like, it could be height, right? It could be, you know, maybe he's not as good looking facially, but he's tall.
Women have a lot more qualifiers on men than men have on women. That's just facts.
Money. Like,
or he makes money.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why we see there's a gap in that.
Yeah.
But we don't scream patriarchy for like men.
Yeah.
Like,
but then we don't know. That's it. We don't know. Is it because of, so you've got the biopsychosocial approach, and which is what I tend to subscribe to, because that's it. It's not easy to be like, oh, it's just biology, or it's just sociology, or it's just your personal.
But my question is like I just don't even understand, like, in this day and age, how we are fighting the patriarchy. Like, what more can they do? I can do any job I want.
Yeah, I feel like Pearly is really trying to drive this conversation into some sort of like disagreement, because from the way this woman came out speaking, you would have thought that there would be a lot more disagreements than it's been. But every time Pearly introduced a fact, then she just starts agreeing. Oh yeah, I know. So this is like a weak feminist right here. She's kind of weak.
Like, nothing.
She's not riding or dying for the cause.
Has ever stopped me from doing anything.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what I need feminism for now. Like, I can't think of one thing.
I have a question going back to it.
I think she knows that she's intellectually defeated. Like, I think the reason why she's agreeing so much is because as soon as she tried to get off her feminist talking points, Pearly came right at her with, well, but, you know, there's actually this and this and this. She countered everything so quick and drove the conversation where she wanted it to. She didn't really get a chance to shine. If she was talking to someone a little bit more low IQ, this woman here, who didn't know all of the things that Pearly does, I bet she would be speaking a totally different tune right now. If she was talking to a dude, she would probably, like to a man, she might have a different tune. But I just feel like this atmosphere in the room for her is just too much. She's alone. There's no fellow feminist with her, so she got to defend everything herself.
What you said, and I think it's valid, but I want to give you a scenario. So you said originally that the reason you arguably apply a higher standard to men is because you felt life was easier for them. So it's easy. You should expect more from them, or they have advantages, right? More so than women, right? So my question then is, would you apply a higher standard to a white woman over, for example, a black male?
Yeah.
Ooh. You would?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Wait, hold on. Let me run that back one.
Apply a higher standard to a white woman over, for example, a black male?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Yeah, well, of course, she's a feminist.
So you would expect the white woman to earn a certain amount, to be taller than you, to make you feel protected, and to be able to provide for you more so than if you were getting to know a black male?
Then it's the intersection between race and gender, but that's it. As a westernized white woman, I'm well aware of my privilege. And it's like, I know that, like, it depends on, well, that's it. It depends on.
You see, guys, when you on this side, you know, like my side, her side, his side, not her side, not the one with the glasses. When you on our side, it's easy to explain these things. It's easy to put a lot of this stuff to rest. I just feel like we have fact on our side more of the time than they do. Most of the time, damn shit. But I think it's easy. So, you know, don't even go down the rabbit hole. Don't go her way, because it's a slippery slope and it only get complicated. She backed into a corner right now. She probably been reading feminist blogs for 10 years and still can't defend herself in this argument. Like, she hasn't even defended her argument once.
It's tough. It's
because I'll be honest. Like, I think women just always apply a higher standard to men than women because they're men, regardless of what race they are.
So say like we go for a job interview and it's
wait, you're non-binary. Me and him.
Yeah.
Who you dating?
That's 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 it. It really like
who you picking?
Yeah, exactly.
He probably makes more money than me.
Yeah, but then but then being a female, I'd probably be like, is money my most important, or is it emotional connection and how funny you are? Like it would depend on what. As a woman, I think I would. Oh, I don't know.
And she's non-binary.
That's it. Would I, well, as a woman that doesn't necessarily want kids anytime soon and is quite financially independent, I probably wouldn't be like, money probably wouldn't be my priority. So then I'd be like, well, physical attractive would come into it, but then funny, compassion.
So me, okay.
So it's really, oh no, but that's it. It's really, no, but it's really hard. It's really hard to be like, no, but it's really hard to be like, is it just money? Is it protection? Because I'm also quite scrappy, so I can hold my own as well. I don't want a man to protect me because I'm like, I'll fight. Let's go.
Do you think you could fight me?
All right, so it's good to see him go off on a happy note, laughing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the argument that I thought it was going to be. They actually just ended up agreeing on a lot of things. It was very civil, so that was nice. It was an interesting conversation. But that's it for the video. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments below. Till next time, peace.